So, I'm not going to be making some artful, intelligent observations about a beloved work today. Instead, I'm going to be talking about the Spiderwick Chronicles, which I love both irrationally and unconditionally. Spiderwick is an incredible series about fairies and magic in the modern world, co-created by Holly Black and the incredible artist Tony Dieter. It follows a group of kids who uncover a world of magical creatures and a field guide stashed away in their new house, detailing the natures of all these creatures. And there's also an ogre trying to take over the world. So, Spiderwick is just great. I mean, they did a wonderful job with the characters, the complexities of the relationships between main character Jared Grace and his twin brother Simon, and their sword fighting older sister Mallory. They're having a hard time of things since their parents separated, and things only get worse when they move into a new house, which happens to be infested with fairies, along with the rest of the countryside. And I mean, there are bad fairies like goblins, trolls, and self-centered dwarves, and the evil shape-shifting ogre Mulgrath. And then we have the good fairies like Hogsqueal the Hobgoblin and Thimbletack the Brownie, who, by the way, was voiced by Martin Short in the 2008 movie adaptation, which doesn't really have much to do with anything. I just like bringing it up. The study that went into this world is just incredible. It feels alive as soon as you set foot into it, with all of these invisible creatures hidden from the naked eye, bringing weal and woe upon the humans around them. We have big fairies, small fairies, fairies that fly, fairies that swim. We have dwarves making mechanical dogs and griffins in the sky. There's a whole plot in the books about Mulgrath breeding an army of evil dragons. It's a whole thing and it's wonderful. But the best part of the books, in my opinion, is that it's real. It's real mythology. They're not making stuff up, really. They're just adapting what already exists in folklore and legend and using it to their advantage. It's why Spiderwick, I think, feels familiar in such a good way. I mean, they're first and foremost, they're kids' books, but nothing appealed to me more when I was a wee lad. It felt like I could go outside and find these magical creatures. It felt like it was real and it was beautiful, right? It spoke to that sense of mystery and wonder that a kid feels about the natural world. And in some ways you might argue it's sort of like Harry Potter for witches and animists. I mean, Harry Potter arguably then is Spiderwick for atheists and feminists, but I digress. Uh, what does it mean if you like both? Anyway, it's such a fun series, and while the 2008 adaptation wasn't really perfect, actually it didn't really come close, but it managed to capture some of the majesty, I think, of the books quite well. It was one of my favorite movies as a kid, and they did a wonderful job capturing the beautiful art of Tony Dieter in the form of rather decent looking CGI creatures, which they look like they were ripped right out of the books. I mean, okay, regardless of the many changes and restraints of the chosen medium, we did get to hear Martin Short pretend to be an angry brownie slash boggart, and that's just gold. The the books are good. The movie is good, although they are wildly different, and that's sort of a rare thing. Usually, deviations from the source material tend to cause trouble. I mean, the fans are typically watching it because it's similar to the thing that they like. You don't need to go on and change it just for, I don't know, to subvert expectations, the movie did manage to be good. Not perfect, but good. And also, I can't stress this enough, it had Martin Short in it, which is just so wild to me. He's like one of my favorite comedic actors, and you wouldn't really expect him to be in a movie like that. So, what do you know? But anyway, I am curious to see how the new TV show does. I'm I've sort of grown tired of the recent string of subpar remakes and adaptations of beloved works in recent years, but I'm willing to give it a shot. From what I've seen, it doesn't look particularly faithful to the books either, but that doesn't mean it still can't be good. So, yeah, I do love me some Spiderwick, and I have too many books about Spiderwick, about the extended universe, and I have their version of the field guide that got published, and all sorts. And really, I'm happy as long as they're doing something with it. Maybe the new show will get more kids reading the books. You never know. And so I guess the bottom line is just that the Spiderwick Chronicles are great, and I'll read anything with goblins and ogres and elves in it. Uh, yeah, like and subscribe if you'd like to hear me fumble my way through explanations and opinions about beloved works. I try to put out a new video every week. Until then, bye.